Hey Virgos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your general reading here. So let's get right into your meditation. I want to say to you, first things first, I don't fit into the mold. I am the mold. Not as in like a harmful fungus, but like mold. Like the shape maker of something. I don't fit into the mold. I am the mold. I was taken immediately to, I reckon not too many of you will get this reference, but that's okay because I'm going to take you there and school you on the Lady Chablis. The Lady Chablis is an infamous performer from Savannah, Georgia, one of the original OG drag queens. And she is, I was shown her as depicted in a movie called Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Although not really a musical, but she definitely there's a lot of music in it. But Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. And I saw the Lady Chablis as the Virgo collective, standing up on the stage and just absolutely turning everyone into that audience into a, devoted admirer of her and her energy. Even those who, maybe before walking in would have been more close-minded to her and her magnificence, right? I feel like rather the point of this is that Lady Chablis lived in Savannah, Georgia, during a time where, it was very Republican, and where who she was and what she did and what she stood for. She's no longer with us, right? What she stood for was, objectionable to a large group of people that resided in Savannah, Georgia around that time, right? And she had a very famous saying that said, 2 tears in a bucket, motherfuck it. 2 tears in a bucket, motherfuck it. And I feel like that's rather the message for you now. It's again, I don't fit into any box. I don't conform. I don't do this. No. I am my own show. I am my own performance. I am my own entity. I am that I am. It feels very much, Virgo, that if you are in a point where you are either limiting yourself with other, whether it be self-limiting thoughts or you are existing within a certain society or confinement or familial structure or some way that it feels like you are playing by rules that counter to your own, 2 tears in a bucket. Woo! Let's get your animal energy. Lady Chablis, come through for Virgo. Oh my God. I am so here for this. Golden egg. Do you understand? Do you understand how perfect this is with Lady Chablis? Okay, let's talk. The golden egg equates to the 2 of Cups for me, right? So 2 of Cups is very much about, yes, it's about connections that are very reciprocal and mirror-esque in terms of their balance, and they reflect each other perfectly, and it's a beautiful love partnership energy. However, with the golden egg here, when we're talking about, I don't fit the mold, I am the mold, and then we have a golden egg, which is quite literally outside of the mold of a regular, ordinary egg that would be produced from an ordinary chicken. It's like, no, sweetie, I'm not an egg. I'm golden. It's so tongue-in-cheek, and I'm here for it, right? There's also an aspect here, too, about what makes you unique, what makes you stand out. What is your personal point of value? What is your personal point of value? What molds are you ascribing to or adhering to that you didn't make? This could be about where you live. You could be Lady Chablis living in a conservative society, or you could be, a black sheep, and I love black sheep, in a familial structure that sees things very differently than you do. I feel like the message for you, Virgo, is if this relates to you in some way, shape, or form, then the larger message here is to go, that happened for a reason. From a soul perspective, you chose to be in the situation, you co-created it, right? And you did not do so that you can fit into the mold described to you. You did so. Lady Chablis was unabashedly herself. And yeah, she made a lot of people uncomfortable, but you know what she also did? She changed a lot of minds as well by just being her fabulous, wonderful self. And by doing so, she, by example, gave others permission to be themselves. I have shivers. I'm obsessed that Lady Chablis is coming through for you, Virgo. I feel like we should all be so lucky to have her energy like come through in a reading, right? She is an absolute legend. Absolute legend. You know, also with the golden egg here too as well, I'm also always drawn to the triangles, the mind, body, spirit, and the balance as well. You know, I'm hearing that the more that you are true to yourself and express yourself out loud without adhering to anyone else's comfort or what's expected or not to like rock the boat or whatever have you, not only do you give others permission to do the same, but you open the road ahead of you and have inherent access to the infinite possibilities at your disposal because you are not here to hide your light under a bushel. Okay? Oh, God. It's almost 2 on the nose. 4 of Scrolls, the Karmic Trench. Okay, so the Karmic Trench, this is so perfect for you. The Karmic Trench is about doing things the same way and getting the same result and being bogged down by cycles or patterns or routines, either set by yourself or others, that have led you to the same results that you don't love, which is another way of saying that you keep on co-creating the same dissatisfying set of circumstances or stimuli, right? It could be different places, different people, different things, but why do I seem to attract the same person over and over? Why do I seem to attract the same kind of boss over and over? Why do I keep having the same exact issue, even though it's a different, right? What's the common denominator? You. How have you co-created your circumstances, the good and the not as good? The way to dig yourself out of this karmic trench and get over to this light side and actually manifest something new and different to what you've been previously co-creating is to what? Guess what? Break out of that mold. We're talking about not being of the mold, being the mold yourself, not fitting into someone else's mold. And we literally have this dude in a mold of a trench. Dig yourself out by making different choices. Dig yourself out by first observing and being aware of how you co-created the circumstance, situation, or whatever that you're in, right? You know, I'm hearing RuPaul, honey. I'm hearing if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Because we got 2 of Cups here. But also, if you don't see yourself, how is anybody else going to see you, right? Oh, God, okay. Whoa. We have 1 of Rose's commitment. Hi. So love is very present in this reading, okay? Now, this doesn't have to be romantic love, mind you, right? Because we can definitely live the work that we do, right? Love taking different shapes and forms, but commitment in this, particular context, I love that it's coming up in this way with the golden lamp and the yellow, rose petals here with the golden egg, right? This speaks of contracts, agreements, and also, coming together within an institution or another person to go, hey, I'm choosing this. And when I sign on this line, that means that I am 100% committed. I don't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. This also equates to, if you're in a job that you don't really love, but you're like just doing it to make money and waiting for the job that you really want to open up. Let me clue you in on something to consider. I'm not saying it's one way or the other, but something to consider is you might miss out on that job that you really want while you're busy doing the job that you're doing, waiting for the other one to open up. I understand that you need to, support yourself and all of that good stuff, but there's an aspect of this that's coming forward to ask you, in what ways are you compromising? In what ways are you compromising? Are you doing informed compromising where you're like, this is okay, I feel in facility of this. I'm observing that I'm compromising in certain aspects, but I feel like it's worth it because I feel like the returns on the other side of this down the road are going to be worth it. Or am I compromising because at least it's making a choice here in the moment and I don't have to live in the unknown or be in that discomfort of not exactly sure what's coming next or how I get there, what it's going to look like. I feel like there's a good group of you guys that are going to be made an offer, which is really cool. But let me just put this up for some food for thought and something that I have found in life and times. Just because we get an offer does not mean that it's our offer. Sometimes when we want something and then we get an offer that just misses the mark or way misses the mark, we can be tempted anyway to take it because it's like, oh my God, it's going to be better than just like waiting or being in this other, vague place where I'm not exactly sure like where I'm going to be or how I'm going to do this. But sometimes the universe will bring in an offer, and then I hate to say that we're being tested. I think that's a bit reductive a little bit, but it can come in and say, hey, how about this? Like, are you going to take this as an offer? And then if you choose to walk in faith and go, you know what, I'm going to hold out for what I really want. I'm not going to engage in work or in a relationship that does not 1,000% feel right in my soul. I'm going to say no to that and hold out. And then bam, something else comes along. Or maybe take a few tries that is a fit to you, right? But that's a common misconception, especially within this realm, right, of like spiritualist thinking or tarot energies, where it's like, we get an offer, that means it's mine, or else it wouldn't have come away. That's not actually true. If only it were that easy. But we do need to use our thinking hat and really hold out for, what feels absolutely right. Someone is close to me, says this a lot, and I feel like it's really, really apt, which is, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. If it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. Okay? Four of Forces, spring and autumn. This is all about getting to business. So I'm really obsessed with this. It equates to like a Four of Wands, but Four of Forces is more about, see these seasonal here, like where it's autumn and spring. So spring, which is the season we're in right now, so I'm obsessed that this came up for y'all, is very much about, coming out of that winter's cave, dusting off those icicles and moving forward, things growing, new birth, new abundance, new direction, new life, renewal, all of these things, right? When we think about autumn, this is like if this were in reversed, right, with the autumn on top, that's a time to kind of like stop, collect the harvest, and get ready to go inside for winter. What this is saying is you are in alignment with the season, and the time is now for you to make moves and be open and receptive to, taking divinely guided inspiration, right? Y'all, I'm getting a very specific message that the unique being that you are, allow that to inform, what optionality lies before you. Meaning, do you think Lady Chablis, when she was hard, I keep using her as an example because it keeps coming up. Lady Chablis, if ever she wasn't able to book a show, do you think that she would have, taken a job? I'm not shading this line of work, but do you think she would have taken a job doing anything less than that just to get by? I don't know, handing out flyers on a corner for some, car salesman? No, she embraced her unique and beautiful self and understood that, what was hers was going to come to her. That sometimes it was just about exhibiting the patience that resulted in the reward of it, right? I feel like you're definitely getting an offer or two here. It just feels like, allowing yourself to be in a place of alignment and seeing yourself clearly enough and well enough to understand what is the right fit, okay? It's important. Page of Swords, karmic trench, this is exactly what we're talking about. The Page of Swords is about, communication, messages, awareness, observation, right? We were talking about observing yourself and your old patterns and ways of doing things, right? And going, hey, I'm going to use this sword here and dig myself up out of here by making different choices. Not making safe choices, making different choices, right? When karmic trench comes up, there are patterns that you have been engaged in, whether they be relationships, jobs, money, beliefs, perceived limitations, whatever this is for you, right? How you treat your body, your mental wellness, whatever this is. You've been engaged in some less than healthy or not so helpful patterns, or let's not even judge it. You've been engaged in patterns or beliefs or behaviors that have not led you to where you want to be. That's what this is. The Page of Swords is coming forward to say, now's the time. You have an opportunity. You don't have to do it if you don't want, right? But you have an opportunity here to become aware of it, take accountability for it, and in the accountability is the shovel that's going to dig you on up out of here, okay? I like this as a road runner too, because there's also an aspect here of as you take accountability and dig yourself out, it allows you to propel yourself forward into a new cycle, right? New choices, new experiences. Woo! Had to take a sip of tea for all the tea that I'm dropping. Well, channeling anyway. One of Rose's commitment. Talk to me. Oh, God. Ace of Swords. This represents the pen as well. And what do you sign a contract with? A pen or a pen if you're from the South like me. So, Ace of Swords. I'm so here for this. This is about a big realization. It's about clarity, right? It's about also, yes, signing contracts. I'm just obsessed that this is coming up in this way. It's using your words. You know, the fact that this is shown with the panda here is really smart because the tagline for this key as it relates to panda medicine is the answers lie in the stillness. The answers lie in the stillness. So beautiful Virgo, fellow professionals at analysis paralysis, right? And you know you is, right? The answers lie in the stillness. Remember, we're talking about these offers coming your way. It is so clear. These offers are coming your way. This is for you, darlings, right? The answers lie in the stillness. Understand that once you commit to something, that's you, right? So it's just about going, hey, like, I'm getting the black and white. And I'm hearing Joni Mitchell both sides now. Can I look at something from both sides, from a place of stillness, and not jump to the first thing of like, oh God, yes, I'm not. Or, oh God, no way. I wouldn't even think about it. No. Take some time to get some objective clarity around it and then move from there, right? Because if it's not this, it's something that'll come as a result of saying no to this, right? Or maybe this is great as it is, and you accepting it from a place of, the answers lie in the stillness is not doubting it or overthinking yourself into, oh, this feels really right, but no, it's not the smart move. I'm not going to do it, right? The Ace of Swords, is the answer to a lot of analysis paralysis and, mental congestion, as it were, right? Interesting that both your clarifiers are swords here. The golden egg, I'm hearing to go back to the golden egg. The golden egg, it does equate with Two of Cups. What it also equates to is your inner truth. What are you here to do? What mold are you? Like, what are you here to do? Are you living your highest and best life? Are you being the most unique self that you can be out loud and proud, regardless of whatever discomfort it inspire in others, right? Maybe that's your role. I believe that it was a large aspect of Lady Chablis' role in this lifetime for her to unabashedly be herself and make others really uncomfortable so that they had an opportunity to look at the, rigid structures to which they were clinging and change. Are you an agent of change, Virgo? Four Forces. Oh God, I'm so here for it. Six of Wands for the Four Forces. Six of Wands is victory, public recognition. And this is traditionally that guy riding on the horse with like everyone like, yes, laurel wreath, yes. So I love this. And I love that this is depicted too with the blue ribbon of it all and the bee, which is about work, community, teamwork, the sweet honey of life. We're talking about getting to it, moving forward, taking that action, right? Moving out from that wintry cave and going into that lovely spring air with that renewed sense of hope, faith, and direction, right? With the Six of Wands, victory, right? Spotlight being on you. This is showing what this is for you, Virgo. Is these offers or potentials, this could even be an idea of something that comes your way, that you're being asked to commit to, like a new line of work or a new project or a new, social media presence. Whatever it is that you do or that you want to do, right? You could be asked to commit to that idea. Maybe the offer is coming with and from yourself for yourself, right? We can have a lot of good ideas that are divinely inspired, but if we don't commit to them, then they can just go away and then they land in that pile of regrets. And I wonder what would have happened if I had committed to that more, right? But this is victory. This is moving ahead and making moves and having success and victory and also public recognition, or at least recognition outside of yourself within your circle of peers, friends, family, whatever this is. But this is success. The success. Absolutely here for it. You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing the sound of music. The fields are alive. Is that the hills are alive? Oh Lord. The hills are alive with the sound of music. So I'm hearing with the victor, whenever soldiers would come back from war and it would like dun, 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 and they were like announced before they broached the fields. Something about that. What is your honey? I'm hearing, what is your honey, right? Because the bee, right? All about that honey, right? What is your personal honey? It's going to be different for everybody. Back to this golden egg. For some people, the honey is the money. For some people, the honey is feeling like you are making your piece of the world better than how you found it. For some of you, the honey is having a loving partner that you come home to every day and you feel supported, even though the world, not be aligning to what you wish it would, right? What is your personal honey? And can you cultivate that honey in a way where it can, sort of fulfill you in a way when other aspects, maybe a bit further down the road or need a little more cultivating? What is your personal honey? Something about that. Yeah, I feel like one of these for y'all. I'm hearing a quote that, it's something that someone said once to me. I was at a workshop, and I'm going to tell you who it was because it feels pertinent for somebody watching this. So I was at a workshop being held by a director named Jay Duplass of the Duplass brothers. And Jay Duplass, filmmaker, director, writer, he was talking to a group of, actors, right, in Los Angeles years ago. And he said to this group, he said, if the work that you want to be a part of, if the roles that you want to play are nowhere in sight, create your own. Write your own. And I feel like that's going back. Create the work that you want to make. Be the change that you want to see. Create the environment that you want to participate in. Right? Back to Lady Chablis, right? I don't fit into a mold. I am the mold. Right? Something about that. Oracle. Oh, God. Okay. This is so stunning. Earthkeeper. How beautiful. For Virgo, beautiful earth signs to get the Earth Keeper. This is about being connected and grounded in with thyself, right? Remember when we were talking about how Virgos can be rather, gifted at analysis paralysis, and that a good tonic for them and a good mantra to remember is that the answers lie in the stillness. I feel like this is another aspect of that, the Earth Keeper. The more that you allow yourself to be in the given moment that you're in, right, with the answers lying in the stillness, right, I feel like these two are quite related. And by the way, 1 + 8 is 9. 9 is the Hermit key in the Tarot, which is your key of Virgo, right? So I feel like this is, special little hey to y'all as well, numerical form. The more that you connect in, right, grounded in the moment that you are in, the clearer your perspective will be and the clearer the way forward will be. There's an aspect here where you're being asked to cut yourself free from any sources of, confusion or wish-washiness or, not sure, is this the right time? I'm hearing that it's not a time for questions, it's a time for declarations, right? Declarations come from, again, the answers are lying in the stillness. It's not a time for questions, it's a time for declarations. You're being asked to, funnily enough, you're being asked or guided to ask yourself, what questions have you had on repeat inside of your mind palace? We all have them. What are the questions that are in a loop? What is that? What is the question? What are the questions? There could be more than one. There likely is more than one, right? Really look at that question and then commit to clarity. I'm all about living in the question. I say it very often that living in the question, I feel like, is largely why we're here. But I feel like for you guys, some of these questions that are running on a loop are what creating your karmic trench, okay? It's declaration and commitment and committing, right? Committing to clarity, perhaps. It's what's going to allow you to move on into a new cycle and manifest. It's like you're being asked to just like boom, like let water flow into this valley and transform it. You know what I mean? Like you're being asked to just like, whoo, Because, you know, the Earth Keeper, karmic trench with the earth and land all around here. Commit to clarity. No longer be complacent or allow the same loop of questions or script to run in your head over and over, because it is linking you to certain situations or lines of thought or mental discomfort or something, right? That is not really what you want. There can be comfort in the familiar, even if it's not really what we want. So there's something about that, okay? But now's the time to commit to clarity, very clear on what your mold, the mold that you are, right? Which is not a cookie cutter mold, right? What is that for you, right? Inherently, who are you? Why are you here? The unique aspects of yourself, drawing from those, right? In order to propel you forward. With the Four of Forces and the Six of Wands. There is a big opportunity here. I can feel it. There is a big opportunity here. And you are being asked to commit to clarity in order to receive it in whatever time, way, shape that this comes through, right? Commit to clarity, darlings. Answers lie in the stillness. 2 tears in a bucket, motherfuck it. All right, Virgos, this was fun. This is your April general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, would you do me a huge favor and let me know in the comments below? Because I love reading your comments. I live for it, actually. And with that being said, just thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you, your own mold. Beautiful, unique Virgo that you are. Be well. Until next time.